All right, you guys, I wanted to go over with you how I make a matcha bowl on the wheel. So we're just gonna jump right into it and get started. So I'm gonna cut off some clay off this block. If you want to wedge, you can. I'm not going to wedge just because I make so many pots in here. A lot will argue that it's a mistake not to wedge, but it comes pretty good out of the clay supplier as is. So we're just gonna get started with it like this. All right, so first things first, get the mound of clay wet. And the first move I like to do is push down, like so. This is just getting it nice and attached. And then I'll squeeze in at the base, start to take it up into a cone, like so. And then I'll do an aggressive coning up with the top half. Sometimes I go extra tall just to make sure it's nice and compressed since we did not wedge. Go back down, lean it forward to take it down. And I'm going to grab about 3 fingers width. For my hands, your mileage may vary. Around 3 fingers to get the bowl I need. Once we get nice and centered, I'm going to go in with my 2 fingers here and keep my index finger straight as I go down, kind of like this, to make sure I have a curve. And I'll go ahead and take it out to 3 o'clock-ish. You can't compress on the hump, but try to compress just a hair without making it go down too far. And I'm going to close it in. Go in, do my pulls here. However you learned your pulls on the wheel, on the actual wheel head, you can actually do on the hump as well. You just want to get your hand down there. My finger's about right here, and then I want to go right up under it and start the pull. So we are going to do a bowl, so I'm going to use this part of my hand to lean it out, and then push in at the base and do another slight pull as I'm leaning out. And that should end me up about where I want. Like so. Just doing a final little compression back. I am going to give it a little bit of a swirl in the base. And then we're going to polish it up. Just make sure everything's smooth. And I'm going to grab my rib. They call these ribs because they used to be called animal ribs, or they used to use animal ribs back in the day. So we're going to clean that up. And I like to use these metal ones because they scrape off the most, and I just lean almost just the weight of the rib into it. And that works pretty good for me. Make sure everything's nice and pretty. Before I cut off, I want to make a little indentation right here at the base, and then grab my wire, and here's the move. Thumb, index finger, it's this motion right here. Womp. That will get us a nice cut. And womp, you gotta make that noise. I'm gonna pinch with 2 fingers right here, and then 1 finger. Easily start rocking it. That's going to give you a nice little spout. And then I'm going to lift by the foot. I like to lean it this way, sneak my middle finger underneath for support. And then we got a nice little matcha bowl there. Okay, let's go ahead and do one more. I think it's good for you guys to see repetition. So we're going to go ahead and take this bad boy back up. Here we go. Just keep practicing on the hump. You'll get better and better at taking the clay back up. It does take a bit of practice. So we're going up, going down. As I go down, I try to grab those 3 fingers as it's going back down. It just makes it a little bit easier. Going in, straight finger on my index finger, make sure I have that angle, then go out. You can do that in one move. Just make sure you finish the going down before you go out. Compressing a bit. Here's another one. You can do 2 moves at once. You will close it in, and then do your first pull. You want to start learning where your finger is, where my finger is about right here, so we go up under that, grab that thickness, slowly stop. Everything in pottery is a slow start and a slow stop. I describe it kind of like a drill. You want to start and stop slow. Lean out with that index finger on the inside, and once we're about halfway, start your pull. Slowly come to a stop at the end. My finger's right here, so that's the base. I'm going to tuck this finger underneath to make a foot, and then make an indentation, and I'm going to trim that later. So I know that that is how much I have to trim. So the hump actually allows you to see how much you have to trim and adjust it. So that's a nice thing about the humpity-doo. So polish up, make sure it's all clean. And take our rib again, the metal rib, rock it on up. Just like so, light pressure on the inside hand pushing out into it. Clean up one last time, just make sure everything's smooth. All right, we're gonna do a little swirly-do in the middle. And then, index finger, thumb and middle finger, squeezing. Very gentle, take your time. Wire tool, thumb, index finger, whomp, like so. You're gonna lift by your thumbs, pushing forward, sneak that middle finger underneath. There's another one right there. I'll set that over to dry. I'm gonna do one more for you guys in production speed so you guys can see how fast I would do it without explaining. So this is just so y'all can see what you can get to in the future. So we're gonna go up, down, find it, going in, out a bit, stop, compress back just a hair, lean it in, and I'm gonna do a pull with my thumb and index finger, going out, a little bit of water and lean it out just a hair more. Just to show you guys a little variation of throwing. You don't have to throw the same way over and over and over and over and over and over. It's fun to switch it up just a hair. There we go, do a swirl, that's good. Polish it up, hit it with the rib. Just like that. Polish it up one more time. Take our wire, cut, pinch, lift. So you'll get quicker and quicker at it, and you just start banging these out. That's one thing I like about the hump is you can just start over nice and easily. So here's an example of a finished out matcha bowl. You can see the swirl down there, and afterwards it gets a foot trimmed in it. I put my logo. It's just a nice little clean bowl. These are fairly easy to make, so give them a shot. They are a great seller. I only have 2 left. I usually make about 15 at a time. Here's the shop today, hanging out, still finishing out those plates. I have some egg yolk separators, about to make a video on that soon. They look like this. You crack the egg and it pours out. Yeah, so come on in here if you're ever in Dallas. We have lots of options. Got some spoon rest, got some ramen bowls on my Etsy right now, actually. Okay, peace out, y'all. Till next time.